guys, hope you're all well. Welcome to In the Style of. Today we're going to be checking out Latin jazz. We've got a wicked study piece for us to get stuck into. So get your headphones on and your PDFs in front of you and let's get into it. So what is Latin jazz? Well, Latin jazz is exactly what it says on the tin. It's a fusion of these 5 elements which we're always talking about in these In the Style of tutorials. The 5 elements being harmony, rhythm, sound, feel, and any signature aspects. Now, the form, the chord progression, and opening bass line of this study piece are all based upon a jazz standard called A Night in Tunisia and incorporates 6/8 Afro-Cuban rhythms integrated with an up-tempo swing feel. Now, A Night in Tunisia was written by jazz trumpet legend Dizzy Gillespie back in the 40s in the bebop era, and Dizzy was amongst some of the first musicians who started to experiment with this fusion. He was amongst other musicians such as Mario Bowser, Stan Kenton, and what is it now? Is it Mojito and his Afro-Cubans? That's it, Mojito and his Afro-Cubans. One of the most important aspects of Afro-Cuban music is the clave. The word clave translates from Spanish into English as the word key. And the clave is the spine in which everything rhythmical is related. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the standard A Night in Tunisia, first of all, go and get familiar with it. Secondly, my main point, the 6/8 bass line which is featured in the study piece is actually an adaptation of the original bass line, which was in 4/4, but here I've adapted it into 6/8. So let's check out the 6/8 bass line from the study piece and the 6/8 clave and listen closely to how they interlock together rhythmically. bass line weaves in and out of the clave, but the essence, the rhythmical essence of the clave is still felt. Now whenever I play any style of Afro-Cuban music, the clave, whichever clave it may be, is always, always, always at the base of what I play and my ideas. So for this reason, it's paramount that you get it into your system for it to become as natural as possible. I think the best way to do it is just to play it over and over and over. What I used to do was set up a loop in my sequencer, and then I just pick a bass line that I liked, and then I just sit there for hours and just play it over and over, play it into my system to the point where it's just unmovable. Leading into the B sections and the piano solo of the study piece, we are moving from a 6/8 Afro-Cuban feel into an up-tempo swing. And the way that we do this is by using what's called a metric modulation. So what is a metric modulation? So you've all heard of a harmonic modulation, where you change from one key into another, that moment where all the boy bands stand up out the stools. So a metric modulation is when we move from one time signature or tempo into another. So in the study piece, we're moving from 6/8 into 4/4, and the way that we do this is we take the dotted crotchet pulse feel from the 6/8, and then we turn that into the minim pulse of the new 4/4 tempo. Okay, so I'll do it for you now. So here is the dotted crotchet 6/8 pulse. Daggedy, 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 daggedy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to leave that there, and then I'm going to turn this into 4/4, and this is going to become the minim pulse of the new 4/4 tempo. Daggedy, 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 daggedy. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and daggedy, 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 daggedy. And again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and back. Daggedy, 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 da. So obviously one of the biggest parts of jazz bass playing is walking bass lines. To play great improvised walking bass lines, you need to know your fretboard, your scales and your arpeggios inside and out. And I can tell you now, it won't happen overnight, and it can seem very daunting. I've been there. But it is all very explainable. But to put it very simply, with walking bass lines, all you're doing is outlining the harmony of the chord progression. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you some building blocks so that you can start creating your own improvised walking bass lines. So there's 5 stages to this, so stay with me. We're going to use the A section from the study piece to do this. Okay, stage 1, we're going to play root and fifths only. Stage 2, we're going to play root and third only. Root 3, we're going to play a combination of root 3 and 5. 4th, we're going to start adding some scale notes. And then 5th, we're going to start adding some chromatic notes in there as well. Check it out. once you have a basic understanding of this, this is when you can start to integrate some more melodic ideas and rhythmic ideas, such as skips which help the feel along. A few things which I like to include in my walking bass lines are pedal points. These can be a great way of creating harmonic tension and intensity. I like to use them with big octaves, which can create a lot of intensity, and also using the pedal point can be a great way of creating direction through the chord sequence. I also like using harmonic substitutions such as tritones. I feel that direction in your bass line is really important because it's in the name, walking. You walk in a particular direction. You don't walk around in circles all day. You know, and I think the same principle should apply to a walking bass line. You know, the listener and other musicians should hear that direction in which you are going and moving through the changes. And another cool idea which I like to use in my walking bass lines is after a solo break, I like to start my bass lines in the upper register of the bass and then descend all the way down into the lower register. That's just a cool idea that I've picked up along the way. I think I must have, I think it was Niels Henning Orsted Pedersen. I think I've said that right. I think I heard him do that on some Oscar Peterson recording somewhere, but it's just a really cool idea which I really like. So listen to all sorts of records and find some cool ideas which you like and get them into your playing. But all of these ideas are interchangeable into the environment in which you're walking a bass line. So for example, in the piano solo of the study piece, where we're playing an up-tempo swing feel, you're less likely to play skips and integrate melodic ideas because of the tempo of it. You know, you're playing it so it's a quick tempo. It's probably by you integrating these different ideas, it's more than likely going to get in the way of everything else that's going on. So it's probably better just to play 4 in a bar. As opposed to if you were playing a jazz tune, like a medium swing thing, you know, there's more space for you to integrate different ideas to react to soloists, to react what else is going on, to push people in different directions, to get new ideas going. I also think that your note choice can be affected in different environments as well. So, for example, in the piano solo, we're playing fast tempo swing, playing at 240 BPM, pretty quick. You'll notice in the score that we are not playing the root note on beat 1 of every bar in this fast tempo. We may be playing the 5th or the 3rd, but then immediately followed by the root. Now, you can sort of get away with this because it's such a fast tempo and you've already got the sound out of your instrument and everybody knows the sound of the harmony, and also as fast as you've played it, it's already gone. Not to say that you should play any note at all, you still got to outline the harmony. But for example, if you're playing like a 12 bar blues as a shuffle, at like a medium-ish tempo, there's going to be a lot more time for the musicians and the audience to hear your notes which you're playing. So in a situation like that, I'm more inclined to play more root notes on beat 1 and try and find different cool ideas to integrate to make the root notes sound creative and fresh. So check it out. Hope you enjoyed this lesson, guys. We've literally scratched the surface with a handful of elements which make up this amazing music called Latin jazz. Check out the suggested listening. Don't forget to head over to Knowledge Rocks to pick up the MP3s, the PDFs and everything you need for this lesson. If this is your first time visiting In the Style Of, don't forget to hit subscribe and we can see you again very soon. Any questions, comments, please leave them below. And remember, there is always something to learn from every bass line. And I'll see you next time.